Welcome to the TST podcast. We're queer, you're here.
I'm Kayla.
And I'm Kris. And in today's podcast, we're doing a bit of a carpool TST. That's what we're going for, I think. So, what's our topic today?
Our topic today is Pride.
Woo!
It's Pride Month. Month of the gays.
Rainbows, 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 rainbows.
Queerness everywhere.
Yeah, we love queerness. What? Yes, I am going to sort of try and concentrate on the road whilst I'm doing this, but so I'm just going to roll off whatever you say.
So, Pride. What does Pride mean to you?
To me?
Yeah.
So that's a really hard question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not think it's I feel like it's different for everyone.
Well, yeah, that's why I want to know your perspective of it. What does Pride mean to you personally?
I mean, for me, whenever I hear Pride, or whenever I hear the word Pride, and I obviously know it's Pride Month, I'm like, I just want love and positivity spread of the fact that it's okay to be who you want to be. You know, that's how it feels to me.
Yeah.
I want just people to be able to be themselves. I feel like when Pride starts, I don't know, I just feel so all my people are going to come out and see each other.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's so nice to get together and see the people in our community and just have our voice, you know. When it's Pride Month, I feel like we do have a voice.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time, we don't really have a voice, you know. That's how I feel anyway.
No, I get that.
But so Pride for me is just all about spreading love and being positive about who you are and feeling like it's okay to be who you want to be.
Yeah, no, I get that. I vibe with that. Whereas for me, Pride it's the history of Pride that is important to me.
Yeah.
Because Pride started as a riot at Stonewall by Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia, two trans women. And I feel like, especially now in this current climate, trans women are slowly trying to be erased from the queer community.
Yeah, I think so.
Where the frustration is nobody would have gay rights, trans rights, queer rights without a trans woman of colour and two incredibly brave trans women who were willing to put their lives on the line, and they did put their lives on the line for freedoms and celebrations. So for me, as much as Pride is a celebration and a parade and a loving and accepting time, I feel like the message of Pride is lost a lot. Yeah. Pride is a protest. And especially now, when I went up to the town centre today, I saw two shops that had their Pride logos, their Pride stickers, whatever, in the window. Whereas this time last year, every company changed their banner on Twitter for their Pride. Everybody had Pride collections coming out in all of their shops. Nobody's done that this year. And I think that speaks volumes about it all.
I think it's starting to become a bit of a pain for the majority of people. People are they don't really want to be involved with Pride. They don't want Pride to be a thing. I feel like it's still getting to the point where government and especially just cis people don't want Pride to be a thing anymore.
No, it's the corporate pride of businesses running around with a rainbow flag for a month and then they're back to normal, and it's okay, gay people don't exist anymore. And then it's the whole argument was straight pride, and it's you should just be grateful enough that your rights have never been infringed upon enough that you needed to have
this is what I mean,
pride to begin with.
Pride is for us as a community to be able to have a voice. We've never had a voice.
No.
We've always had to fight for our rights.
And I do genuinely think it's getting lost on the younger generation.
Yeah.
Because love that they are growing up in a more accepting culture When I was at school, I was the first out trans person to ever be at my school.
Yeah.
Whereas now, like the place in which I work, they have a whole billboard on pride and inclusivity and what it means to people.
Yeah.
So I am so grateful the younger generations are having a much more open and adoptive environment.
But why is it taking so long?
I also think in that same vein, the message of pride is getting lost. Because they are just thinking pride is a party.
It's not just a party though, it's a place for us to go and stand for our rights, stand for who we are. And I think when people say like the whole like, oh, why isn't there a straight pride? Because they've always had rights. Like
exactly.
I've coming from a place that I used to be a cis straight boy. So we had rights.
Yeah.
But now coming onto this side and being myself and being involved with this community, we don't have rights. And you can see it. Like, we have to have Pride Month.
Yeah.
To express that we should have rights. A lot of the time, like you said, it's a protest.
Yeah.
It's a protest to the world to allow us to get these things in place so we can be ourselves and have places to go to be us. You know?
No, exactly. And it's like, I will check my privilege. I am white, and for the most part, I am passing. So I can walk down the street in relative safety. But that doesn't take away from the fact that I understand there are a lot of people in my community who don't have that privilege. And that is why I am so passionate about it, because just because I have that privilege, I should use that place of privilege to speak up for other people. And for the longest time during my transition, I didn't. I was cis-passing, I was white, I was thin. I blended in. I hid in the background. I was quiet, I didn't rock the boat.
You do it now.
And then as I have grown into queer culture and I've understood more dynamics and I have educated myself more on it, I will always use my voice for those who don't have one. And if I ever see an injustice, you know, if I went into the bathroom and another trans woman came in, I could keep my mouth shut and walk out. But if she's being harassed, I am going to stand up for her.
Good.
Because that is my sister.
That's what I mean. I think we should come together and like, because you still get people in our community hating on Pride, and it's like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Why don't we just come together and support each other?
Exactly. It is.
You know?
It's the LGB without the T, and the no kink at Pride, and bisexuals shouldn't be a part of it, and questioning shouldn't be a part of it. For so long as a community, it was illegal for us to exist. It was against the law. When people were released from the concentration camps in Nazi Germany, gay people went back to prison. They didn't go back into freedom. They went to prison because it was still against the law to be gay.
That's what I mean.
So to come to such a place of freedom and privilege, and to use that as an opportunity to tear other people down, is upsetting.
Yeah. Sometimes it just makes me think like, do I want to be involved with this whole like community? Because like we get attacked within as well. Like within our community, we are getting attacked by people who are in our community.
Exactly. Sometimes it feels like there's more hate within the community than there is outside of the community.
That's what I mean. It's very it's a weird place to be in.
Yeah. And as I like to argue, you know, when you go on an app sort of like Grindr, and there's like the pickiest person you could ever possibly see, like with their bio, and it's like, y'all weren't even allowed to be together 50 years ago.
No.
Where do you come off on getting on this thing of, unless you fit this perfect stereotype of what I believe is attractive, you are not worthy of my attention?
there shouldn't be a perfect stereotype because you're not going to get the perfect person.
And that is what I always like to say is like, y'all don't have rights. Pick one and be happy.
Yeah, I guess, but people don't do that, do they?
No.
It'd be nice to know what you guys think. What's your idea of pride? Like, what does pride mean to you two?
Yeah.
So you should comment down below and tell us what pride actually means to you.
Well, that's it. I would love to get other perspectives on it. I would. And it is not just the what does pride mean to you, but just other opinions on...
I think you learn more as well. Like...
Well, exactly. Like, I want to be educated on if somebody who identifies as something that I don't identify with, explain to me the struggles that you have and the feelings you have towards the queer community and why you feel those ways. I would love to know.
I think for me, being non-binary, I think the struggles that I have is things like, do I fit femme or do I fit masc?
Yeah.
I think I had that struggle. And I also have the struggle of like, do I want to be a girl? Do I want to be a boy? Do I want to be non-binary? I think I'm like the whole thing is still a weird subject for me.
Yeah. No, I can completely understand that. And that's why, although I do identify as a trans woman, when someone asks me my sexuality or my gender, I just say that I am queer. Because I don't want to go in the ins and outs, and neopronouns, if they suit other people, brilliant. Live your best life. Doesn't
It's
concern
weird how you
me.
say that though, because I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like whenever someone says like when I was going through that thing with work, I told you about recently. I'm not going to go into details, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like I when I was talking to people at work about my identity, I'm like, yeah, I'm queer.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything about like. Well, I did tell them I'm non-binary, but like I think the first thing that pops to my mind is queer because I feel like the word queer, people get that more than anything else, which is annoying because the word queer isn't actually like, I don't know, I just don't think it's a nice word, personally.
Well, see, I appreciate the term queer because it's the reclaimed slur.
Yeah.
You know, queers used to be a derogatory term used to attack the community.
Yeah, which is why I associate it now with a bad word, because a lot of the time especially when I first sort of came out, it was used against me quite a few times, especially at work, and you know, so I think I associate that word now with it being bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I can understand that, because like, even my parents, when I first started sort of saying like, oh, the queer community and I'm queer and da-da-da-da, they were taken aback a bit, like, no, that's an offensive word, you can't say that, like, don't call yourself that. And it's like, that's not the meaning, it's been reclaimed.
Yeah, 100%.
We have taken it back as our own, we have taken the power back. And I think that is just a beautiful justice to the word. So, like, that's why I like the identity of queer, because not only does it have the connotations of, like, this is a reclamation of a word, it's also, like, it's very ambiguous. So I don't have to go into, as I was going to say, about, like, the neopronouns and stuff. The neopronouns, neosexualities, all the ins and outs and da-da-da-das. If that's for you, live your best life, love it for you. For me personally, that's not my thing. I would rather just like what I like, identify how I identify, look how I look, leave it at that.
That's it.
Because my identity is for me and nobody else. So the term, I know what I am and what labels would suit me best, but I'd rather just stick with the term queer.
It's fair. I think everyone has their own terms and their own way of identifying.
Absolutely, and they're all
what
valid.
fits. Yeah, it's just basically what fits you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's not anyone else. Just you, whatever fits you. That's how you identify, I think.
Well, that's it. 'Cause, I mean, it's also the usage of words, like with you identifying as non-binary, but then also occasionally using the phrasings of femboy. And it's
I spoke to you about it the other day, earlier, didn't I? And I was like, sometimes I don't really like using the term femboy, because like femboy is like a boy who presents feminine.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not a boy.
No.
I don't want to be a boy.
No.
But like, I also do like that term.
Exactly, and as long as that term is comfortable for you,
That's what I mean. It
then
shouldn't
that's
matter what
fine.
anyone else thinks. I think at the end of the day, you identify how you want to identify.
yeah,
Don't get me wrong. There are some certain things that if you're going to identify it as something, back it up, kinda.
yeah, no, I can understand that perspective of it, 100%.
It's like I get, like the example I told you the other day, where I had this guy and he was like, "Oh, I'm a masked non-binary man," and the pictures he sent me and the way he was talking to me, obviously, like, that's me assuming that this is what it is, but like the way he's talking, the pictures he sent me, it was like, really?
Yeah,
Like, are you actually, like, are you joking? Are you just trying to, like, because obviously on my bio it says, like, I'm not into, like, masked men and stuff. Is he just, it made me think, is that guy just doing that, trying to be like, oh, if I say I'm non-binary, this person will, like, be like, oh, actually, you know what, I'll give him a chance.
yeah,
And it's like, yeah, but, no. It's like, I'm, like, the way I identify, the way I present is because I feel comfortable that way.
absolutely.
And I think that's a lot of things, even like in talking about the queer community, brilliant driving from them two people. I think when you know when you see people like trying to identify as something, and it goes against you because you know for a while that they're not identifying as that, they're just doing it for like to be involved or for clout, or they're doing it for a certain way which you know is offensive towards you.
Yeah,
Like, especially that grinder, like, don't get me wrong, grinder's good for some things,
it is.
but like for a lot of things, it just feels like there's a lot of people on there trying to fit people's preferences.
Yeah, to be honest, as we've discussed
Maybe I'm
before
rambling,
about...
I don't really know. Maybe I'm rambling, I don't really.
It's like when we've discussed before about how, like, the crossies will hit me up and they'll be like, yeah, no, like, we're like basically the same. And I'm like, do you identify as a woman? No. Well, then we are not the same.
Exactly.
Do you dress up for sexual pleasure? Yes. I don't. I dress up every day because this is what feels right for me.
And it's like when we were saying the whole thing of like, me and you, for example, we like to be feminine.
Yeah.
You're a woman.
Yeah.
So you want to be feminine.
Exactly.
But then you've got like people like that want these cross dressers, and like it's a fantasy for them.
Yeah.
When we go out in a dress, we are a lot of the time scared for our safety.
Steal my phrase.
We're scared for our safety. But
When they go out in a dress, it's
the
the sexual thrill.
It's a
Yeah.
kink.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you understand
yeah.
how it actually feels for us
So I've
as
had
people who like to do that?
I've had somebody on Grindr who was a cross-dresser, and you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I want to make that point clear.
Yeah, there's nothing
There
wrong
is
with
nothing
cross-dressers.
wrong with being a cross-dresser.
If you
But
want to do
this-
that, then do it. But don't try and like
Yeah.
associate yourself with something that you're not.
Yeah.
Because
This
for
person
you,
said to me, as a woman who has had a breast augmentation, a trans woman who has had a breast augmentation, they messaged me and said, oh my god, how funny would it be if I got breast implants?
I know,
That
you
would
always
be
say that.
so humiliating.
that's what I mean.
And it's
What?
like, no, that was gender affirming care for me.
That made you feel like you.
That made me feel at home in my
Confident.
body for the first time in my life.
This is what I mean. I think it's a very weird community that we are in.
Yeah. It's a difficult one. It is difficult because as many beautiful, beautiful moments that there are within the community, there is also a lot of negative that can sometimes overshadow it completely.
No, 100%. I 100% agree with that.
You know, because it's even like with the confusion that people get with, oh, well, how can, like, gay men find you attractive? They're into men. And it's like then you get into the whole discussion of the broader spectrum of everything works on a sliding scale. Nothing is binary. There are some gay men who are into femininity, some gay men who are into masculinity. Some gay men who are into femininity are so intrigued by it that they find me attractive as a result.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that though, because the whole thing just it's just a fantasy thing, isn't it?
Yeah. No, definitely there is a line with it where it is fantasy for a lot of them, but then there are a few of them that are genuinely just like, I'm attracted to you.
Yeah.
I don't know how, I don't know why, but I'm attracted to you.
But then do you not think, like, to me, do you not think is that just a straight guy though?
No, it's often gay men.
But then do you not think they have to sort of like, as a gay man, are you not then like questioning your gender because you're a woman?
Not particularly, because I'm very secure in it and who I am.
Yeah.
So for me, I always like to use the phrase "hot is hot." That describes my sexuality. So I imagine a lot of these men who once believed that they are gay men and nothing else, and then they come across somebody like myself and they find me attractive, it kind of opens them up to more of the broader spectrum of sexuality and about how none of it is linear.
Yeah, but then I'd feel like, sort of, if I was in your shoes, that are they just attracted to me because they are gay and you've got a penis?
Potentially, but then it could also be,
because,
are
like,
they just attracted to me because they're a lesbian and I've got breasts?
Yeah, but they're not.
But there's so much more
a
to
gay
it.
man, but like gay men, how are they attracted to you when you're a woman? This is what I would argue.
But that's what I mean.
They're attracted to men.
It's the preconceived idea that they are solely a gay man.
Yeah, and then they're like,
it opens them up to the maybe I'm not a gay man.
That's what I mean. This is what I said.
And then
about
attraction is also linear. You could identify as a gay man, be attracted to this one singular woman, but then never be attracted to another woman again for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe it's like a straight awakening. No, but it's good. It's good that we have these conversations. So
100%.
I think
they're important to be heard.
If you don't know, you don't ask things, and you don't like try and learn and ask things that you need to know, then you're never going to learn, are you?
Well, exactly. It's like with yourself identifying as pansexual, it's kind of anybody you're attracted to.
Yeah,
and it's fine.
You know what I'm like.
Yeah, anybody.
Not just anybody, but I think it just depends on your person. Like, I don't care what you have.
No.
That's the main thing for me. I don't care what you have.
Yeah.
It's more about you as a person.
Absolutely.
Like, you could have a massive dong and a massive pair of tits, or you could have like no dong and no tits. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. And for you, it's like you have the clarity of that with your identity and your sexuality.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of people don't.
No.
So, like, as I said, it might be a queer awakening where they're like, okay, I'm into more things than I thought I was. Or it could just be a case of, I don't know why, but this one person I'm attracted to, and they are nowhere in the realm of what I have ever been attracted to before. And then after that, they're never attracted to anybody like that ever again. It just takes that one person that they're attracted to. So I think attraction, sexuality, is so much more skin deep than people give it credit for. You have the obvious sexual attraction to someone, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think there is so much more that goes into it than anybody will ever sort of sit and break down for themselves.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I personally, I'm not attracted to somebody until I'm attracted to their personality. I can look at them
Yeah,
and,
this is why-
and objectively say that is an attractive person. But if I got to know them and they've got the personality of a wet dishcloth, no, not attracted.
This is what I keep saying about like how you can't really have intimacy with someone until you get to know them.
Yeah.
This is why I keep saying to you, like, you're a little demigirl.
But then that's the thing, is that I just choose not to identify with those things. I'm just queer.
Yeah.
That's
fair.
just how I identify.
No, and that's like, it goes back to the whole thing of like, you identify how you will identify to make you feel confident.
Exactly.
And to make you feel complete. That's something that I've always been really strong on. Is like the way I identify just makes me feel complete.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly. Like I say, the nail on the head moment for me was after I got my breast augmentation. I hadn't realised just how much I felt like my body wasn't mine until I'd had them done, and it finally felt like I was home. And that is the point of gender affirming care, is people who don't experience it will never understand it.
Yeah. We got to the section of our game. The three
B's.
So the game is obviously we pick 3 people. It could be a crush, celebrity, whatever you want, basically, whoever you want.
Yep, whoever you can find on the internet.
Basically. So the 3 B's is we have to pick out of the 3. We have to pick one that we want to be inside, one we want them to be inside us, and we want to be them.
Yes. So you're going to get some gorgeous underlighting now from my phone.
Woo! Underlighting.
It's always the most flattering light directly at the chin. So first person we have.
Make sure you look like you're about to start telling ghost stories. Who's the first person?
We have Miss Lola Young.
Oh, you know what? I think this is a very controversial one right now, especially because I think at the moment she's going through this whole thing of like that song she released, and everyone's a bit like umming and ahhing about her.
Yeah.
See, I don't really know, because I was really attracted to her.
Yeah.
But I think she might be like sort of leading potentially down the wrong path. I'm not, from what I'm getting of like the sort of new stuff. But I do really, I don't know, I find her very attractive.
Yeah.
I like her sass, like the sassiness. Like I love her music. She's just so like sassy and like the voice.
Yeah.
It's just very unique.
No,
I
yeah,
think
100%.
I would be inside her.
Yeah.
Just because I don't think I'd want to be her, and I don't think I would let her be inside me.
Yeah.
Although I think she is a bit of a freak, so she probably would put a strap on.
No, I'm going to agree with you on that one.
But I think it's very controversial because of what's going on right now with her.
Yeah.
But I love her to bits. I think she's a very unique artist and
100%.
It's
like aesthetically, it is very much not the norm, which I love.
I love that, yeah.
Yeah.
I love her, like, it's not just any old girl, you know?
Yeah.
She's sassy, she's, like, her dress sense is unique, like, the voice is unique, what she sings about is unique. I love it. So I think I'd be inside her, I think.
Yeah.
Although, like, I was leaning a little bit be her, but I'm not sure right now at the moment.
No. So we've decided then?
Yeah.
Settled to be inside her?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I agree. Now the next one we have, you might have to peek down for just a second, is a beautiful trans woman, Miss Kerri Colby.
Oh, I've seen a few clips. I've seen a few clips about her and stuff.
I would be her down. I would be her down.
See, I don't know. I haven't done enough research to say that, so I'd probably say them be inside me.
Yeah. No, I would be her down boots. She's stunning. And then last but not least, we have from season 17 of RuPaul's Drag Race, Miss Lydia B Kollins.
Love it. See, that...
My final option is her be inside me, which I will graciously accept.
I would be them, obviously. But, like, it's quite nice, though, because obviously the whole drag thing, and I've always said, like, I really want to try the whole drag thing, so
yeah.
it makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But yeah, I'd probably be them.
So just cut it out.
Love that.
How she's untucked.
Love
So,
that. I really don't agree with tuck-in.
I will only do it for aesthetic now.
Yeah, I would for aesthetics.
It's uncomfortable. I did it every single day for 10 years.
I've done it a few times and it's so uncomfortable.
Yeah, I did it from the second I woke up to the second I went to bed, and sometimes I even slept tucked.
And like,
if I slept
and then
in
like
someone else's house.
when you actually need to go to the toilet,
Yeah.
it's like you got to unravel it,
Yeah.
and then you got to put it back in again.
That's so.
And it's just a whole thing.
I mean, I put my time in. I did my work. I'm allowed to be flowing in the wind now.
I do it.
Yeah.
Like I like wear like leggings and stuff, and you can still see my bulge, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't just let the bulge be free.
Exactly. Free the bulge.
Free the bulge. Let's get ready to ramble. So obviously it's my go this time, and I wanted to just talk about cars. And like, so like ever since I like, obviously I posted that video of my exhaust
Yeah.
on TikTok, and then ever since then I just had like people modifying their cars, and I kind of wanted to talk about like being queer in a predominantly male, masculine environment. Because you know what, I've been to a few car meets where I have openly been queer, and I've like worn makeup and stuff, and I don't know, I think obviously I'm not going to be like, I've been a bit of an optimist. The car community really don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I think when you're going into a place where like everyone has the same sort of interests, and you're only really interested in one thing, and that's people's cars. I don't know, I think people don't really tend to really care how you wear and what you identify. I've had more people come up to me whilst I've been at a car meet and saying like, I like your vibe.
Yeah.
More than any like hate or anything on looks.
Which I love, because I said before, like when you'd mentioned the both of us going to one of them car meets, that was my apprehension, was being a queer identifying person in a predominantly
honestly, I
cis
think you'd
male.
be really surprised.
Yeah.
Like I've seen there are quite a few like queer people in that environment and in that sort of place, you know, like this whole like community of like car community. There are quite a few gay people, quite a few queer people in that community. I don't know, I find it very interesting, because you would think it would be a bit more, you'd think it would be different, but I think the whole car community, I've really enjoyed the car community. I think there's less, I don't know, I think there's a lot more hate in other communities to do with different things like that. But like, I don't know, I like the car community. But at the moment, all I see is like people like modding their cars up, and it gives me so much inspiration about like doing my car and doing things to my car.
Yeah, whereas I will always say, to me, car is car.
Yeah. Car
is car.
Car keep burping.
Told you not to get ice cream.
But yeah, I think I don't know, like, if there is anyone that listens to our podcast that is in the car community and is queer, like, how do you feel about being in that community? Because I don't know, I feel quite good about it. Like, especially, like, I don't know, I've never had any hate from people that are in this community of like cars and stuff.
Yeah.
It's always been pretty positive stuff, you know. Like, I've got out of my car and I've worn makeup. Like, look at that girl the other day.
Yeah.
Met up with her, and like she was like, "Oh my god, you've got makeup on, but she was like, that's so cool.
She was living for it.
She literally loved it. And it was like, you're a car person, but you've got makeup on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a different. I like the car community. I think it's a very positive community. I mean, I could be wrong. Some people might disagree with me and be like, "Oh, no, it's a shit community." But I do believe it's a very positive community.
Yeah. Which, I mean, love that. But I feel like maybe if there is a good amount of queer people within that community, maybe like we could get some, get some voices out there, make it a little bit more known that these places are queer accepting.
Yeah.
Because I had the preconceived notion of this is a straight man thing. This is not a place for me. Neither as a queer person or as a woman.
How many women there are in the queer community? Not a queer community, in the car community. There's a lot of women in the car community.
Yeah.
The car community is massive, and it's a massive new thing for everyone, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's becoming a bit bigger as well. Like, I think it's already massive, but like I think it's getting bigger now with the whole allowing so many different kinds of people in it. But it'd be nice to know what your guys' opinions are on that whole like car community and being queer and stuff within it. But I've had a really positive outlook on it, so
yeah. Well, I'm good. I'm glad you've had good experiences with places like that, at least, because you get to bring your community and your passions together.
Yeah, you get to bring your vibe and your person, and then you also get to enjoy cars,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
As much as I am feminine and I love makeup and I love being feminine and all that sort of thing, getting queer and quirky, but I also love my cars.
Yeah.
Like, I love going to see fast cars. I love like talking about cars. When someone talks about cars to me, my little brain goes like, woo! And I love it. So like, it's nice to keep them interests,
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
and I think like going back to like the whole like gender identification and stuff like that, like I think when people do come out as like queer and they come from a straight environment, I think a lot of people think they have to like ditch all these like straight things and like these masculine things. Like for me, example, I'm more feminine now, coming from being very masculine. And I think a lot of people have this preconception of, oh, you've got to ditch the masculine things that you used to like because it's not fucking feminine enough.
Yes.
But you don't have to. How many fucking masculine women do you see liking these sorts of things? There's loads of them,
I mean, I'm like one of the most feminine people that we could come across. But something like, I know it's not super duper masculine, but like building your own furniture.
Yeah.
The accomplishment of that, being able to say that I did that, If I was born a cis woman, I would have been the girl who picked up the chairs when the teacher said, "Can a big strong boy come and help me?" I would have been her.
Yep. I love that.
That is the energy I like to bring. It's like, just because I don't like that doesn't mean I can't do it.
No, it's 100%.
Like I'm not into cars, they're not my thing, they just don't pique my interest. But had I been taught, I absolutely could do whatever I needed to do on a car. And that may be delusion, but I wholeheartedly believe it.
I can teach you.
Teach me how to fix the car.
Do people want to see that fucking
please don't.
Chris teaching Kayla how to do stuff on cars?
Please don't.
If you do, if honestly,
it's going to be messy, and I'm going to show up in such cute overalls or something.
If one person, anyone, comments in our video or on Spotify or anything and says that they want to see a video of Kayla trying to fix or trying to change my next mod on my car, we will do it. 100%.
I'm going to need to take out some sort of insurance policy here so I can't get sued.
I think that'd be fun. But yeah. Good?
Yeah.
Cool. So, we've come to the end now of the TS2 podcast. Obviously today has been car pod. But yeah, we hope you've enjoyed.
you've enjoyed our rambling. I hope the exhaust wasn't too loud
And
throughout.
I apologise that you can't really see us because we've literally went out for dinner and then we did it on the way back. So apologies, but at least you get to listen to our cute voices.
Exactly. Just hear me get on my soapbox yet another week.
But please like and subscribe and comment anything you want to comment down below, like we've said. And
But not me fixing a car.
yes, Kayla fixing the car. 100% done. Deal. Comment it. If one person comments it, then it is going to happen.
I'd rather you comment Kayla gets hit by a car.
No, don't comment that. Don't comment that. Right. But we hope you've enjoyed, and we will catch you in the next one.
Peace out.
Peace out.